Hello, everybody.
Howdy.
We're back.
Yes, and we're taking the Jehovah's Witnesses to Pioneer School.
Yeah, for those of you who didn't have the special privilege of going to Pioneer School.
Yes.
He did.
And look, I got my shining as Illuminati to the world. The illuminators in the world.
Yeah. That's the old book, but I guess this is what the new book looks like. And we have a letter here from a pioneer couple, ex-pioneer couple.
Yes, and also he also sent us a schedule, and if I'm reading this correctly, the 2-week Pioneer School is now cut down to 1 week. I mean, I don't know that to be a fact, but if somebody knows that for a fact, we'd sure all like to hear it in the comment section.
Well, it used to be 2 weeks, Monday through Friday, and according to the schedule, it looks like it's Monday through Saturday now for 1 week.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it looks like. This is the schedule that was sent us.
Yeah.
Interesting. So we're going to read his letter. I'm going to talk about my personal experience for those that have not heard this. I shared my experience at Pioneer School. I don't know, video number 12, number 18, I don't know, number 45. I don't remember. It could be on our first channel, buried with 100 and something videos we haven't uploaded yet.
Yeah, those videos on my external drive that haven't been put up yet.
Yes, so, and it was quite an experience because it really bothered me for the longest time in my Jehovah's Witness career. And eventually I came up with the answer, and the school overseer was wrong. And I'm going to share that at the appropriate moment.
We can say, because there's others in the XJW community that we know has had experience with this same circuit overseer.
Gene Fields? Oh, wait, did I say his name out loud? Gene Fields, idiot.
I believe he is the teacher now at the Kingdom, one of those Kingdom ones in Florida.
Teaching what? How to lie and hide the truth among those that deserve it? You mean that? Is that what he's teaching? Oh, he's teaching how to be the Illuminati.
Company men.
Company men.
To the
Jackass.
Corporation.
Yes.
So I'm going to read their letter, and thank you so much, dear friends, for sending this, because many who have never gone to Pioneer School and who were not in the special service, know some of these things. So
this just happens to be a rung in Watchtower's ladder to success.
Hierarchy?
Hierarchy, yes.
Yeah. All organizations, be it religious, political, or commercial, have a hierarchy system. Titles of privilege are a fundamental building block. For example, corporate organizations use titles like CEO, COO, VP, Managing Partner, and others. Religions do the exact same thing, like Pope, Cardinal, Head Pastor, Missionary, etc. This system gives organization members clear focus on who is in charge and who is important or valued in the organization. And isn't that true? The minute you say, oh, a governing body member is at our regional convention, oh my God, I gotta go see if I can get a picture with them, Yeah.
Hey, just for you Jehovah's Witnesses that feel like that, guess what? Your governing body members crap in the toilet just like you do.
Where do you come up with this stuff?
Well, as you can tell, I have no respect for this religious organization whatsoever because they're killing people. Yeah. They're ruining lives, so they don't deserve any respect whatsoever. Yeah. Okay, so let's get on to the letter before I digress even further.
Into a rant. Let's take a peek at one of the entry-level organization titles that Watchtower has in its hierarchy system, Regular Pioneer. According to the Watchtower's history book, Jehovah's Witnesses, Proclaimers of God's Kingdom, page 210, paragraph 1, in 1881, an appeal was made to the membership to become coal porters. My grandfather was one of these glorified salespersons who would peddle Watchtower literature. And we've done videos in the past talking how these coal porters, to be in the full-time service, they would sell the books to get the money that they needed to live on. That was the whole sales You know.
Well, in fact, we had one of these coal porters in our congregation in Cottonwood. It was August Vogel and his wife,
Inez?
Inez and August Vogel. In fact, they're even mentioned in one of the older yearbooks, one of their experiences there.
Yeah, because he was a zone overseer.
Yeah, and I remember him telling us that during those days, they would even trade the literature for food.
Yeah, yeah. He was quite the...
He was quite the character.
Yeah, loved that man. Okay, we digress. Years later, the title Coal Porter was changed and eventually became regular pioneer. In 1977, Watchtower established a pioneer service school where regular pioneers would receive specialized training. My wife and I were invited to attend. For those non-JWs, a regular pioneer is someone who dedicates 70 hours a month in the preaching work. To qualify, you must be baptized, have exemplary conduct, and be willing to follow Watchtower's direction. So how did you get in that rank?
I don't know. Well, the one thing that I would like to state that when I was regular pioneering, the requirement for me was 90 hours a month.
Yeah.
90 hours a month.
You're dating yourself. Well, the book alone dates him.
Dates me, yeah.
Yeah. Mid 93, 94,
Something
somewhere
like that,
around
yeah.
in there. Yeah. Yeah. Since women are eliminated in the Watchtower corporate ladder, to be a woman and a pioneer was something special.
It's true.
Watchtower has indoctrinated the rank and file members to believe that being a regular pioneer means you love Jehovah more than others. They make pioneers feel special, valued, and even say Jesus would have been a regular pioneer.
But you know, though, when I was a Jehovah's Witness, I can remember there being a little bit of argument among some of the brothers and the qualification of Jesus. Because, see, you know, typically Jesus in Christendom is painted with long hair. And if he was to come into the organization today, along with the mighty Samson, neither one of them would be qualified to even pass a mic. That used to be the joke.
Plus they wore a dress.
That's true.
Well,
But-
neither would Russell.
Yeah.
Russell would be
the
kicked
beard.
out as an apostate.
Yeah.
Okay.
But see how much has changed in the organization just since we've been in and out of it.
Yeah. Watchtower and its teachings try to condition young ones to regular pioneer as soon as they graduate from high school.
Well, and that conditioning starts while you're in high school and you're on your summer break, so why not take advantage of your summer break and pioneer during those couple of months?
Auxiliary.
I mean, you'd be a valuable person in the congregation if you did that, which I did.
Yeah. And I just want to mention that in my experience, you know, the congregation I was in Prescott, Arizona, even in, I would have been in junior high, and that would have been in 70s.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like 75, 74, thereabouts. Actually, it would have been elementary school.
Well-
And, you know, then junior high. And they were pushing to not even finish high school. I know
Yeah.
the elders' kids in our congregation were quitting school and pioneering.
Well, you know, that was part of the mindset, is that if you was in high school at that time prior to 75 and you decided to, you know, vacation pioneer and Armageddon came during that time, you were shoo-in for surviving Armageddon.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, back to the letter. I was one of those poor souls who did not get a full-time job or college education. I pioneered. The regular pioneer craze reached fever pitch to the point where parents were enrolling their children as young as 10 years old in the regular pioneer work. Now just think about that for a minute and let that sink in. You know, even back when this couple was pioneering, or even when Mike was pioneering, 90 hours. You know, 70 hours for this couple.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a 10-year-old. Can you imagine? And it's bad enough knowing, you know, the Jehovah's Witness schedule where it's family worship, you know, studying, reading the Bible, getting ready for meetings, you know, service, meetings and all of that. And then school on top of that?
Where the hell did that come from, reading the Bible? I mean, you know as well as I do, Jehovah's Witnesses don't have time to read the Bible. Jeez.
Well, look at my mom. She admitted that she's never read it totally through.
Yep.
Crazy. Assembly programs would include interviews with children who were pioneering in elementary, junior, and high school. They were paraded around as Watchtower trophies. What parent in his right mind would pressure their little ones to such physical, mental, and emotional abuse? Exactly. 70 hours of preaching, homework, meeting attendance, Bible study, and other mandated Watchtower activities is traumatic enough for young ones to carry. Did not Jesus say in Matthew 11:30, "For my yoke is kindly and my load light"? Not in Watchtower land.
Watchtower land it ain't. Nope.
Yeah. Women with families, including small children and infants, would make great sacrifices to stay in the regular pioneer ranks. When some wanted to quit, elders would talk them out of it. "Don't leave pioneering so you won't miss going to the pioneer school," they would say. Pioneer school was a large horse-sized carrot that Watchtower offered to regular pioneers. At the time, Pioneer School was a 2-week rah-rah session to make the students feel special. Watchtower prepared a unique publication entitled "Fully Accomplish Your Ministry." See picture enclosed, and that was that one. And then we showed you Mike's from the mid-90s. What an honor! Students were instructed to keep the contents of the book secret. You weren't supposed to show it to anyone. I've read it. I've looked at it.
There's really nothing. I mean, really, guys, there's really nothing special about the book. All it is just questions, and you just copy in the scriptures that they want you to refer, and then you just put your little hand up and talk about it. It's just really a glorified Watchtower article. Yeah. A Watchtower study. There we go. God, I've been away from. I can't even remember the terminology anymore. Let me start over. It's nothing but a glorified Watchtower study article.
Intense Watchtower study article, because you're at this school all day long and you get, a couple of breaks during the day, but wow.
And I will tell you that they will keep the temperature in that room down to around about 60, if I remember right, 64, 65, because it's common knowledge that when the room temperature is cooler, there's a less chance of you nodding off to sleep.
Wow. Now, I've compared, what this couple sent me from their newer book and with Mike's, and it's almost the same thing. They have it in different places, like in this one it's Unit 6A, and in his it's Unit 5A. So, but it's basically the same book. Okay. Unit 6A, page 47, and the book is entitled "Women Who Make Jehovah's Heart Rejoice." What a gem. The opening paragraphs explain how much Jehovah loves regular pioneer women. Then the study unit goes on to explain how Christian women must accept the headship arrangement. Watchtower states, and I quote, you know what? I'll just go read it right from the book. Page 49. Why does wifely subjection not bring hardship on a woman in the Christian household?
Well, no, see, I'll tell you, friends, why. Because see, this is the reality check of a sister who's a pioneer. Because see, while her husband is away working, earning the income that would allow the wife to regular pioneer, that poor slob comes home from a hard day work, while the wife comes home from a hard day out in the hot sun, talking to people about, the new system of things, and then that poor slob will not get off his deadbeat ass and make dinner. Oh, he might do it maybe once a week, maybe if she's really lucky. He ain't gonna clean the toilets. He ain't gonna clean the house. He's gonna let her continue to do the housework, yada yada. Now, if she's really fortunate, and I mean really fortunate, the husband's going to come home and say, hey, honey, how was your day out Pioneer Service? And she's going to go, oh, man, it was hot. It was miserable. I didn't get to talk to anybody today. It was really a bummer of a day. And the husband, remember what I said? If she's really lucky, he's going to go, well, honey, why don't you let me take you out to dinner tonight? Yeah, right. That's the reality, friends. That's not bullshit.
Well, I was going to say, we know for a fact, like in our situation, I was working full-time as a manager of a fence company in Arizona, supporting him and Shyla pioneering.
Yeah, both of us at the time.
And, he was so busy with pioneering, trying to get his hours, because he was always behind.
Remember, I needed 90, too.
Yeah, and, then trying to work a little bit part-time in between, and then doing all the congregation stuff that they loaded on him in between. So I was working, like 45, 50 hours a week, and then I would have to come home, fix dinner, then on the weekends, because I worked Monday through Friday. Sometimes Saturday, half a day on Saturday. So I would still have to do laundry, meals, grocery shopping, all of that, and then try to work in the meeting on Sunday and service Saturday morning. And those jerk elders have the nerve to go to him and say, oh, well, it looks like your wife is losing her joy, and we need to get her out in service more.
Remember your wifely subjection. What a crock of shit that is.
So you know what I personally think of that wifely subjection?
Yeah, well, I just said it. It's a crock of shit is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. In reality, it sounds wonderful, but
it ain't.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not a life for anybody to have, and then to drag a 10-year-old child along at the same time.
Well, it was hard.
What a freaking joke
Our daughter
this is.
Shyla, was like 15, 16. And it was difficult for her. Mm-hmm. So you can imagine even younger, because she was trying to, she was homeschooled, so she was trying to do her studies and pioneer and, get ready to take her GED. So, it was very difficult on the family. So to say that this does not bring hardship, oh my God. Wow.
Hey, the pioneers, they're living the dream.
Oh, they're special.
Aren't they? Yeah.
Okay, on with the letters.
Sorry, guys, but we just can't help it.
Yeah. We have some very strong opinions about, this whole pioneering and, the wifely subjection does not bring hardship to the household. They're going to make me start cussing. Okay, on with the letter. Then speaking from both sides of their mouth, 3 paragraphs below, they say, and I quote, even when there is no favorable outcome, why can a wife find satisfaction in showing respect for headship? And if I can read the notes that are in, Mikey's book, it talks about, even when she's married to an unbeliever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is just too much.
But hey, but that's the Christian arrangement.
Yeah. Unit 17B, page 151, is a real eye-opener. It is titled, Endurance Leads to an Improved Condition. Watchtower plants in the mind that suffering is not bad, it produces endurance. And you can see, why they have this attitude when they're being approached by apostates and when, we bring, like, the Australian Royal Commission and stuff to their attention, and we call it the persecution complex. But see, Watchtower teaches them,
right?
If you endure, it's good. It's good for your endurance. It builds up faith and, yeah.
Hey, Watchtower, why don't you get a really long knife and do what the Japanese used to do years ago. Run it into your gut and turn it real slow and see how endurance works in that situation.
Heirarchy?
Yeah. See how endurance works in that situation, you idiots.
Back to the letter. They go on to say that suffering may occur due to our own shortcomings. In other words, it's not our fault, it's yours.
That's exactly right. No matter how much pressure Watchtower puts on the Jehovah's Witnesses, damn it, Jehovah's Witnesses, it's your fault that you don't endure.
So I guess all that hell we went through when you were pioneering was our
My fault. Oh, yeah, it's all my fault. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
To this day, Watchtower pushes regular pioneering as the best way to show your love to Jehovah. For Watchtower, there is no excuse to not pioneer.
Yeah, that's true. Well, here again, you know, when I was being encouraged, Gene Fields was telling the congregation, look, when you get into the new system of things and you meet one of the old patriarchs, let's just say, I don't know, Abraham, Jacob, Isaac, what would you be telling them when they ask you the question, how did you spend the last days of the regular
I remember that.
Of the old system of things? Well, I worked full time because, damn it, I couldn't have. No, see, what he was trying to get us to do is say that when that question arises in the new system of things from Abraham, how did you spend the last days? Damn it, Abraham, I was a regular pioneer. God, you know what, guys, you can't make this crap up. You really can't. Because this is how they operate.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, how did you spend the last days of the old system of things? Well, Abraham, my brother, I spent it regular pioneering. God.
Or some of us can tell them, we were on YouTube.
Hey, well, yeah, that's what I'm going to say now. Jesus, Abraham, you know, what a joke the Watchtower Bible Tract Society proved to be. What a joke a lot of things proved to be.
And he's going to say, who?
Yeah, who?
Who? Who's that?
No, this is what it's going to be. No, honestly.
Pioneering for what?
Pioneering for who? Jehovah? Who the hell was Jehovah? I was worshiping El. I call my God El. Come on, guys.
Back to the letter. Are you paraplegic, blind, wheelchair-bound, or handicapped in any other way? No problem. You can find in Watchtower Publications plenty of examples of disabled regular pioneers. Well, do you remember even on the JW broadcast when they first came out in 2014, I think there was a woman that, I don't think she had any legs and arms.
Imagine wanting to study the Bible and preach the good news in spite of a severe handicap. We met a sister who from birth faced that very challenge.
I'm Sabina Hernandez, and I'm from Panama. I have the honor of participating in theocratic activities. I just have to do it a little differently.
Sister Sabina Hernandez has been approved this month as an auxiliary pioneer.
Because if Sabina can do it, all the rest of us can too.
And she was like on a stretcher.
She was in
on
an
a
iron lung.
stomach. No, the one I'm thinking of in GW.org.
Okay, but I remember reading the one in one of the magazines, the sister in the iron lung.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, remember?
We
Exactly.
looked at each other and said, "Really?"
Yeah, really?
Yeah, she would have a mirror, you know, while she was laying flat on her back, and she had a table there with all her publications and stuff, and anyone who come to visit her that wasn't a witness, or doctors or nurses or anybody like that, she would witness to them. Yeah. I wonder if they got on to her for not getting her time.
Well, I'm sure they did. Look, this organization doesn't play favorites when it comes to, Bible or Bible browbeating anybody.
Yeah. Yep. All right, now let us talk about male JWs and regular pioneering. I'm sure you've got some stories about this one.
Yeah.
For men, the Watchtower corporate ladder has many rungs. How does a man become a governing body member, a circuit overseer, an elder, or ministerial servant? What is the point of entry to higher privilege of service? How do you become a missionary or a pioneer school instructor? The answer is quite simple. You regular pioneer.
You want me to tell this? This
would be a good spot.
Yes.
You know, the brother
Yeah.
in Wisconsin.
Yeah, Dan.
Sweet brother that wanted to be an elder.
Well, for those of you that have been with this channel for quite some time, you will have remembered our stories regarding Brother Heirarchy. And this Brother Heirarchy, presiding overseer for 15 years, was really a piece of work. Whatever he said went. And I remember this brother, Dan, he and I became really close friends because both of us loved music, and we played music together a lot and things like that. Well, Dan used to serve as a regular pioneer, and as an elder. And one day, one of his daughters got into trouble, and Brother Heirarchy twisted the words around, and Dan stepped down as an elder because Brother Heirarchy twisted the words. So anyhow, Dan started wanting to reach out again, and he and I had a conversation one day in service, and he was explaining how he would like to reach out and become an elder again, but he knew that would never ever happen as long as Brother Heirarchy was the presiding overseer. And I just said, Dan, tie the hands of the body of elders. And he got a real puzzled look on his face, and he says, what do you mean tie their hands? I've never heard of that. I said, regular pioneer, and they cannot stop you from becoming an elder once again.
They have no choice.
They don't have a choice, because everything in Watchtower for a male really goes back to regular pioneering. If you can regular pioneer and remain a regular pioneer, the faster you are going to climb the Jacob's ladder.
So going on with the ladder.
So anyhow, he did. And 6 months after he became a regular pioneer, reappointed again.
Yep. This is the way it works. If you are willing to put your family and your interests aside and put regular pioneering as the most important thing to do, you are Watchtower material.
Amen.
Like we always say, you're a company man.
Yep.
Watchtower is always looking for organization men. Regular pioneering is the ticket that leads you into the hierarchy system. For example, Bethel applicants who are regular pioneers get priority. Bethel seniority is not determined by years at Bethel, but years in the full-time service. The years you regular pioneered determine how good a room you would get at Bethel when room bids came up. You could bump off another Bethelite couple out of their room if you had more years as a regular pioneer. When we were at Bethel, single brothers would hunt for sisters with a lot of regular pioneer years, marry them, and get a great room at Bethel with a view or a room with a private restroom. Wow!
What a privilege.
Yeah.
Can't you just feel Jehovah's love, friends?
Circuit overseers were pressured to increase the number of regular pioneers in their circuit. Bodies of elders were pressured to increase the number of regular pioneers in their congregations. Publishers were made to feel guilty if they were not regular pioneering. It was a vicious cycle. For a period of time, Watchtower assigned speakers at conventions only if they were regular pioneers. Exception, wealthy brothers.
Amen to that, because I witnessed that myself with that knucklehead Gene Fields.
We called it the Boys Club.
Because it got so bad that you could literally, before the convention started, you could literally take a notebook and write down the names of every single brother that was going to give a part, and you could literally check them off. Right? And if they weren't regular pioneers, they were wealthy brothers.
Yep.
And it was disgusting is what it actually was. In fact, it even come down to the point to where many of us were talking among ourselves and asking, what happened to all those other brothers years ago that were giving talks?
Yep. Back to the letter. If you carried the Watchtower Regular Pioneer badge, you were a spiritual person. You were someone who could be trusted. Someone who could be used in higher privileges of service. Regular pioneering was the fast-track path to being an elder, which opened up other opportunities of advancement.
That just qualified what I just said earlier about Dan. tie their hands, become a regular pioneer.
No doubt there were those who sincerely became regular pioneers to expand their preaching. Watchtower was so influential that they convinced the United States government to issue a 4D military draft status parentheses, ordained minister to regular pioneers during the Vietnam War, which exempted them from military service. The new Watchtower fad regarding regular pioneering is to start pioneering immediately after retirement.
Yep.
So now you see elderly men and women sitting on chairs with Watchtower carts located at isolated areas so they can make their 70 hours.
Emphasis should be on isolated areas, because you don't want to put one of those literature carts at a high traffic area, because you just might get an apostate crash in that baby.
JWs cannot live a normal life. On the contrary, the term normal life is condemned by Watchtower. They say a normal life is not possible in an abnormal world. Watchtower is killing its members. They are overworked and do not know what it is to rest, have a hobby, take some days off. Watchtower even wants you to preach and go to meetings when you are on vacation.
It's a fact.
And look at Antmo. He said, why would you want to take your family to a fun theme park? You should be thinking Bethel, taking them to God's house.
Yep. There you go. I mean, it just qualifies itself.
The hamster wheel for Jehovah's Witnesses keeps rolling. Like any profitable business, the workforce is key. Keeping the rank and file members engaged is vital. The old dangling carrot on the stick is Watchtower's old trick. My poor brothers and sisters urgently need their freedom. They need to see the truth about the truth. Slavery has not been abolished.
That's a fact.
It flourishes in the organization called Jehovah's Witnesses. So thank you, dear friends, for that wonderful insight. And like I said, reading through, this Pioneer book, it was really disturbing, some of the things that are in here. It was just, like they mentioned 17b in here, and it was talking about your endurance. And when you read this whole unit, like in Mike's book here, it's unit 19b, endurance that results in divine approval. And it even says right here, Satan is trying to break the integrity of every servant of Jehovah. Endurance means continuing under hardship without being overcome. As Christians, we must endure not only under severe difficulty or persecution, but also in coping with situations in everyday life.
But how can you cope with everyday situations when you're a slave to now it's a real estate business?
Yeah.
You're not slaving for God. You're slaving for a real estate corporation.
Yeah.
Wow. I really like the last part of the letter. My poor brothers and sisters urgently need their freedom. They need to see the truth about the truth. Slavery has been abolished.
Has not been abolished.
Has not been abolished. It flourishes at the organization called Jehovah's Witnesses. For the longest time, I have said in front of this camera while holding up a Bible, I've said, be very careful how you use that book. Because if you use it to enslave people like what Watchtower has, it belongs to our enemy. If you use it as a book of freedom, then it belongs to Christ and more directly to your own sovereignty. And I'm going to show you how that played out when I went to Pioneer School. When I went to Pioneer School, and I don't know whether they do that now or not. I don't know if the 1 week schedule allows it, but during the lunch period, everybody had an opportunity to get up and explain to the class how they became regular pioneers. And at the time, for me, my dad was dying. He was dying from lung cancer, and it actually worked out good because I get to spend, the last days of my dad's life with him and not busy working, because by then I was already pioneering. But I remember driving to work every day, and I was managing a very large equipment rental business. And I remember praying to Jehovah that if he could make the circumstances possible for me to pioneer, I would do it. And it was my goal to pioneer at a certain point, but I was basically saying that if Jehovah could create the circumstances for me to pioneer sooner, I would do it. And I remember praying that at time after time after time. And I remember relaying that in front of the class. And I kind of got broke up because I kind of got broken up because I also, put in there about my dad dying. And it worked out. So because my boss one day out of the blue said, we got to go to lunch. And we went to lunch, and he says, I need my managers to organize and participate in year-end festivities. In other words, organize and celebrate Christmas with the rest of the company. So I took that as Jehovah answering my prayer. And so I quit because, we can't celebrate Christmas. And here again, I'm telling this.
What a hardship.
Yeah, and here again, I'm telling this in front of the class. So my prayer was, Jehovah, if you could make the circumstances so that I could pioneer sooner, I'll pioneer. The circumstances happened. The very next day in class, that knucklehead instructor, Gene Fields, decided to make an object lesson out of me. And he mentioned in front of the class that you cannot put Jehovah to the test by saying, if you do this, then I'll do that, because Jehovah doesn't answer those prayers. Now, obviously, being a fully indoctrinated JW at the time, that hurt like hell, because that man's telling me Jehovah is not answering my prayers. In fact, if you think about it, and if you have been in Watchtower long enough, they're going to tell you, don't pray out loud, because Satan's going to hear those prayers and Satan's going to put you to test. That's exactly what that came down to in that class. So anyhow, that bothered me for the longest time. And I mean, friends, the longest time. Years. But I knew instinctively, that what that man said was absolutely 100% wrong. But I didn't have the answer. I couldn't come up with some Bible answer to prove that he was wrong in that statement. And all of a sudden, one day, now keep in mind, unlike most Jehovah's Witnesses, I did read my Bible. I did read it, but like most Jehovah's Witnesses, we're all tired, a hard day's work, and you're trying to read, and you just don't have that comprehension level to fully understand what you're reading. So anyhow, one day, out of the blue, I come home from work and I says, Kim, I got it. And she says, you got what? And then I says, do you remember when Gene Fields told me that if you pray this? I said, he's wrong, because Samuel's mother in the Bible prayed, oh Jehovah, if you give me a male child, I will dedicate him to the temple. And then Gideon, Jehovah, if you make the dew fall on the fleece, I'll know you're with me. He didn't do it once. He did it twice. Gene Fields, you are wrong, and you don't know your own Bible. You have no business instructing from a book that you know nothing about. Nothing at all.
Did that feel good?
That felt mighty good. But see, that's the crap you're going to put up with at Pioneer School, because if you give these bastards one little thing that they can twist around and make an object lesson out of, you can bet your bottom dollar they're going to do it. Because that's what this organization is all about. Humiliating people while making an object lesson out of them. But you know what? Look at where we're at now.
But, as a team, the apostates, the XJWs, the activists, we all do a lot of damage to Watchtower. And I'll tell you that I have been reading emails, and I'll tell you what is still doing more damage than anything. The elders,
Yep.
they do more damage than anything else, and the Australian Royal Commission. That is still doing its job. It's still waking up Jehovah's Witnesses, and all of those that you've contacted me the past couple of weeks, the past 5 months, and I've answered you. Welcome to your freedom.
Absolutely.
And this is great. We appreciate you contacting us so much. And just remember, breathe. It will be okay.
It'll be okay. Yes,
It'll be
it will
okay.
be okay. There is no God that is going to destroy your life because you're attached or because you're not attached to any particular religion. And you're not going to go to hell because you're not attached to any particular religion or religious ideology.
Well, according to some of the Bible bullies, we are.
Well, look, I've already debunked that. I mean, look, when they try to tell us, you need to come back to Jesus or you're going to go to hell, you're going to burn, you have no faith in Christ. You don't know the power of Christ's words because Christ gave us authority over the demons and the devils. That would include Satan. So if you friends think I'm going to go to hell because I'm preaching something other than what that book says, I'm going to take the authority of Christ and I'm going to kick Satan right between the legs. And he's going to be singing soprano. That's the faith I've got. And I got that faith outside that book.
Yep, exactly. In fact, I'm working on a video talking about us as spiritual and physical beings. So I'm hoping to do that this next week. But I want to thank this dear couple, dear friends. We're so glad that you found your freedom. And we appreciate the information and...
And I hope from your perspective we've done this video justice. Hey, look, guys, you just can't make this stuff up no more. you
No.
just can't do it.
No.
You can't make it up. I mean, you have no choice but to see how ridiculous it is and how you could just literally poke fun at it at this point.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to thank everybody so much for sending me addresses and property listings for Kingdom Halls going up for sale. Oh my goodness, I've got a stack of them. And it's so funny because I'll be in here in my office and Mike will be in the living room and I'll just start laughing and singing Another One Bites the Dust. And he knows what that means.
I know what it is now.
He knows what that means now. So thank you, dear friends. And if you have any pictures or addresses, listings to property, send it to me, KimmyMBrooks@gmail.com, and put in the subject line, Another Kingdom Hall Bites the Dust. And, I've had some people who have Facebook accounts and Facebook groups and stuff ask me, hey, is there a list of Kingdom Halls? And this is the list that I have been compiling of Kingdom Halls and congregations that are gone, and circuits and assembly halls and stuff. And so, if you would like that list, just email me and just say I would like that list, because I try to keep it up to date, because I don't want to repeat stuff that we've already mentioned. Kingdom Halls we've already mentioned. So yeah, I like to do their address and all of that and have the property listings. And this group here, like I said, I've got a stack like that thick. And I've got the property listings, so we'll be doing screenshots again, while I'm mentioning them. We'll have the screenshots up here showing, yes, this is facts, it is real, it is evidence that they are selling these.
Yes. So we hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I'm gonna change the title of what this says right here. It says, Women Who Make Jehovah's Heart Rejoice. Kim, you can make my heart rejoice if we close this video and you go make me dinner.
Told you, I'm not cooking this weekend.
Oh, would you like to go out to dinner tonight, dear?
Funny guy.
Oh my, this has been too good.
Yeah, too much fun. And thank you so much for everything, everybody. And we hope you have a safe Memorial Day weekend. We love you.
Bye.
Bye.